Not that much. Reincarnation of the Buddha.
$195 a month.
The new Tomahawk makes an emphatic statement about the entire Chrysler Group.
It will do 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Theoretically, it tops out at about 300 miles an hour. We haven't done that yet, but we'll do that sometime.
This is a very limited production run.
These are the most nervous few minutes of my life with this bike.
Hi, welcome to Phillips Auto. My name is Malcolm Phillips. Come visit us and enjoy our wonderful showroom of exotic and luxury automobiles. The beauty about Phillips Auto is that we have a wonderful location, and we all so passionate about what we do here.
And you know, when you have your name out in front with 60,000 people driving by each and every day, you better be proud of that. And you better stand behind your product, because in a small community like Newport Beach, you want to make it right the first time. And how we do that is we acquire the best of the best. I personally evaluate each and every vehicle. We have a service department with ASE qualified technicians, and once I feel that this car is representative of my name out front, then we go ahead and we advertise it for sale. That's the way it is done at Phillips Auto, and we'll continue to do it. It's been successful for us since 1984. Before we put a car out for sale, I personally inspect every car. I give it my seal of approval. We have like a 90-point inspection on all our cars. We run Carfaxes on the vehicle, make sure that there's no prior history of accidents on the vehicle. We look at service records on the vehicle. I'm fortunate enough to have a very, almost zero return factor on any of my cars. There's not too many independents that have their own service department. Most of the independents will sort of contract their work out to independent shops that are not affiliated to the company. But what I've done is I've surrounded myself with the best in the business. I've got a service department, ASE certified technicians. They train in all aspects of repairing of cars. The way these cars are made today, it's more of a you've got to be more of a computer guy. It's more changing parts rather than repairing problems. We have all the benefits that you would have if you were buying a car from a franchise dealer.
The Newport Beach Film Festival has gained recognition worldwide with filmmakers and audiences. During the 11-day event, over 35,000 people enjoyed this festival.
Have you seen it?
Oh,
yes, and improving every year, especially with Crash last year. So that should open up a lot for us. So it's fun.
Hello, I'm Kathy Riley. We are at the Newport Beach Film Festival 2009. This is a big year for the festival. This marks the 10th year for the festival, and a lot has happened over the years. The festival got a rough start in the beginning, but it has hit its stride. You might say now that it's attracting some big movies, big-name actors, and a great location in Newport Beach. We are here to speak with some of the filmmakers, supporters, and fans to find out what they have to say about the Newport Beach Film Festival.
I'm Keith Curry. I'm the Mayor Pro Tem of Newport Beach, and we're one of the sponsors of the festival.
Oh, wonderful.
The great thing about the Newport Beach Film Festival is that it's known for the diversity of the movies. We've got foreign films, animation, documentaries, shorts, student films. We also have some great programs like concerts and animation specials, and the opportunity to sit down and talk with directors.
What is your total involvement in the festival?
Well, the city for the past 10 years has been one of the major sponsors. We believe that it's important to the city to have a festival like this, to bring people into the community, and also to provide a venue so that you can see some of these great films and shorts and student films that are being offered during the course of this week. Newport Beach really tries to be a place that's really arts friendly, and the Newport Beach Film Festival brings over 40,000 people from all over the world really to our city to focus on the artistic offerings through the films and in the community.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Ullman. I'm a chiropractor and I specialize in the Pedibond technique that incorporates spinal adjustments, therapeutic exercises, home therapeutic exercises, and home traction. Once we have identified the problem and have started correction, we follow up with therapeutic massage, which we have a licensed massage therapist in the office, ongoing therapeutic exercises to further strengthen your spine, and home traction techniques that also aid in making a lasting spinal correction. I look forward to meeting you and helping you reach your healthcare needs.
Hello, I'm Craig Alexander, and welcome to my webpage. If you need legal help, whether in the boardroom or the courtroom, my office can provide you with quality legal services at a competitive rate. I've been licensed with the State Bar of California for over 20 years. I also spent 10 years inside the insurance industry, so I know how insurance companies operate and how they should operate. If you have an insurance problem, give me a call, let's discuss it. I treat each of my clients' cases as if it were my own. Thank you.
When the Ford Explorer Sport Track made its debut in 2000, it was a new idea. Based on the Explorer midsize SUV, it was a truck with sport utility characteristics, 4 doors, a short cargo bed, and features to enhance the active lifestyles of its intended buyers. Since then, similar vehicles have followed, including the Chevrolet Avalanche, Cadillac Escalade EXT, and more recently the Honda Ridgeline. Hello and welcome to our comprehensive Kelley Blue Book review of the Ford Explorer Sport Track. Now in its second generation, the Sport Track has grown up, both in size and sophistication. Like the original, it continues to offer rear or 4-wheel drive, seating for 5, and cargo utility. We think you'll like the Ford Explorer Sport Track if you plan to go off-road, require truck-type hauling capacity, tow a trailer, or want an available V8 engine. However, if you need enclosed cargo space, a 3rd-row seat, a full-size bed, or lots of towing capacity, the Sport Track is not for you. Both on pavement and off, the Ford Explorer Sport Track provides a pleasant driving experience. The fully boxed frame is so remarkably stiff that visible movement between the passenger cab and cargo box is essentially undetectable, even under rough conditions. The Sport Track also benefits from an independent rear suspension, which makes it smooth and comfortable on the road, and keeps the wheels in contact with the ground off the road. When it comes to handling, the Sport Track acts like the large vehicle it is. It exhibits considerable lean in turns and takes a while to gather itself in quick changes of direction. Compared to similar vehicles, however, it handles better than all but the Honda Ridgeline. Among our favorite Ford Explorer Sport Track features is the cargo box, which is made of composite material so it won't rust. With 3 storage compartments, the cargo box offers a lot of versatility for the odds and ends of an active weekend. An optional bed extender adds more utility. We also like the available sync system. Drivers can use sync to control their Bluetooth-enabled cell phones, iPods, or other MP3 players with voice commands. Sync can play calls through the speakers and read text messages thanks to a character recognition program. The Ford Explorer Sport Track's exterior does a good job of striking a balance between street style and off-road character. Ford's designers have also managed to balance the Sport Track's work truck attitude and soccer mom SUV practicality. The roof rack, external cargo box tie-downs, large tires, and prominent wheel arches give it a properly rugged image, while the big chrome grille and front-end treatment lend style. Inside the Sport Track, everything fits well and is thoughtfully arranged, though there is more hard plastic than we would prefer. The seating is quite roomy and comfortable in both the front and rear, and there is plenty of small item storage space. Standard rubber floor coverings make it easy to clean out the mud. Our biggest gripe involves the door pull handles. They are oddly placed and hard to use. The small but useful cargo box contains 3 underfloor storage bins with drain plugs. The largest bin is hard to reach because it is located toward the front. The equivalent feature in the Honda Ridgeline is more conveniently situated near the rear. The Ford Explorer Sport Track is offered in XLT and Limited trims. XLT equipment includes cloth upholstery, air conditioning, power accessories, a power sliding rear window, CD stereo with Sirius satellite radio, fog lights, a trailer hitch, and 16-inch tires on alloy wheels. The Limited model adds leather upholstery, heated front seats, a power driver's seat, keypad entry, automatic headlights, side steps, a rear tonneau cover, 18-inch wheels, and Ford's Sync communications and entertainment system. Among the standard safety features are 6 airbags, including side curtain airbags with rollover deployment, anti-lock brakes, and Ford's Advanced Track electronic stability control with roll stability control. Topping the list of options is the Adrenaline package, which comes with 20-inch wheels, unique body panels with a lowered appearance, functional front fender vents, unique running boards, chrome exhaust tips, and a black crosshatch grille. Other options include power adjustable pedals, rear park assist, a sunroof, dual zone automatic climate control, a navigation system, an upgraded audiophile sound system, a trailer towing package, a heated windshield, and the bed extender. When it comes to power, most drivers will find the Ford Explorer Sport Track's base 4.0-liter V6 more than adequate. With 210 horsepower, it is strong enough to keep up with traffic. But if your plans call for filling the cargo box or towing a trailer, you'll probably want the 292 horsepower 4.6-liter V8, which can tow more than 7,000 pounds. No Sport Track gets good fuel mileage, but surprisingly the V8 is more frugal than the V6. Both engines are rated in the low to mid-teens in the city and at or near 20 miles per gallon on the highway. Pricing starts at about $26,000 for a Ford Explorer Sport Track with rear-wheel drive and the V6, and ranges up to near $34,000 for a V8 Sport Track with four-wheel drive. A fully loaded model tops out at about $42,000. Historically, the Sport Track sells for just slightly under invoice price. To find out what consumers are paying for the Ford Explorer Sport Track right now, we suggest you check the New Car Blue Book value page. When it comes time to sell, we expect the Sport Track will have a lower residual value than other vehicles in its general category, falling short of the Chevrolet Avalanche, Cadillac Escalade EXT, and Honda Ridgeline. And that's our comprehensive Kelley Blue Book review of the Ford Explorer Sport Track.
is good.
Way down here, you need a reason to move. Feel a fool, running your stateside games. Lose your load, leave your mind behind, baby Jane. Oh, Mexico, you sound so simple, I just got to go. The sun's so hot, I forgot to go home.
Project Mexico is an opportunity to be part of a team that brings hope to a community of people struggling to survive. The huge number of poor and displaced people in Mexico has created many settlements like El Nino, where families fighting for survival live in whatever type of lean-to or hut they can create from whatever they find. Our mission is to serve these families in this community by building homes, encouraging a church in El Nino, and establishing relationships in that community that really make a difference. You can be a part of this effort in several ways. You can come on our next trip. You can contribute towards the cost of a home by making a donation, sponsoring someone who's actually going on the trip, or buying a window, a door, a roof, or wall. But most importantly, you can pray that as we go on these trips to share God's love in very practical ways, that more than homes will be built, but bridges of relationship, support, and hope, that they'll be established as we serve.
Sends back a postcard, times are hard. Oh, down in Mexico, I've never really been, so I don't really know. Oh, Mexico, I guess I'll have to go.
And on Wednesdays I come over to Newport for another group of World War II pilots and air crewmen and have breakfast with them. But that's a lot different than, let's see, about 60 years ago. I went to high school in Stamford, Connecticut, and the high school was on the top of a hill a few miles from Long Island Sound. And I used to see P-38s over the Sound doing acrobatics, and I was a senior in high school, and I said, I've got to get into the Air Force. And so I had less than a semester of college at the University of Connecticut when I went to Hartford and passed the test to go into the service. And 2 months later or so, they called me into the service, and I went into the aviation cadet program and became a pilot. 125 of us from the University of Connecticut got called up simultaneously, and we were cleaning out the colleges. And so what did they do? They said they didn't have enough airplanes or instructors, so they had to mark time. So they sent us back to college. So I went up to a college in Norwich, Vermont, for 2 months, and then I went into the program and went down to Nashville, Tennessee, and took all kinds of tests, and that determined whether you should be a bombardier or a navigator or a pilot. And I ended up being qualified to take pilot training. I went to Bennettsville, South Carolina to fly PT-17 Stearmans. Then I went to Sumter, Shaw Field at Sumter, South Carolina, flew BT-13s, and then I went down to Marianna, Florida, and flew AT-6s and got commissioned in June of 1944. And then I got into the fighter program flying P-40s and then later P-51s before going overseas. You think about a lot of things. That you psychologically, you get your engine sounds rough. The farther away from home you get, the rougher it sounds. But once you start home, it smooths out and it gets super smooth when you get back in the traffic pattern. After I got my wings in June of ⁴, I went home and my dad drove me down to Department of Motor Vehicles, and the only people around wanting to get licenses were little old ladies. And so I got at the end of the line, and I was in my uniform, and which had the wings on it, and the inspector came up, and he said, why are you here, Lieutenant? I said, I need to get a pilot's license, a driver's license. And he says, don't those wings mean you fly an airplane? I said, yep. He said, you don't need to take a test. So I've been driving illegally for the last 60 or 70 years. But I had a big laugh out of it.
The Grateful Generation is primarily pilots out of the military. The majority of them were in World War II. There's a couple of navigators and a couple of Marines, but mostly it's World War II types. And the interesting thing about them is the name, the Grateful Generation. Tom Brokaw named our people out of World War II as the greatest generation. And I thought that it was fairly braggadocious of me to call myself the greatest anything. But we wanted to stay with something that was close to that, so we decided upon the Grateful Generation. Just about any subject is free, and we give a lot of time to individuals who are talking about themselves, particularly if they need it. One thing that I have found during the 4 years I've been attending the meetings of the Grateful Generation is men will come in and they're very tight-lipped about what they did or what happened to them during the war. And I'm pretty sure that it's the same way they've been at home. There are men who have never discussed war with their families or with their friends. But after attending a number of meetings, I think that they finally come to realize that these are men who have done the same things, who have experienced the same kind of events, and all of a sudden they start to relax. And it's almost a therapeutic type thing, because after a year or two, these guys are laughing and telling jokes just as though they had never been tight-lipped. I think it's a very good organization. I joined the military when I was 19 years old, and had a little difficulty getting my parents to agree, but I wanted to fly. I'm very much in love with airplanes. As a matter of fact, my heroes up until the time I got into the military myself was a magazine by Street and Smith called G8 and His Battle Aces. That was almost like a Bible to me. When I enlisted in the service, it was 1939, and I think it was almost as though they were drawing cards. Number 1, you go into the infantry. Number 2, you go into the field artillery. Just the luck of the draw. As far as danger to me is concerned, I knew that I was in danger, because on all the missions that I flew in 3 wars, there were 3 times that wingmen of mine were shot down. On one mission, I lost both of my wingmen. On 2 other missions, I lost one of my wingmen. They were obviously shooting all around me in order to shoot down planes that were right next to me. But with a total of something over 250 total missions, I never had a hole in my plane. When I would write home to my mother, I'd say, lucky Capson, they can't get me. My mother would write back saying, "Don't say that, you're jinxing yourself."
For those stores with nesting tables, you can see that these tables are great for merchandising holiday items. Utilize these tables to show off the variety and unique product that we will be offering. The trick in merchandising these tables is to create a less structured, free flow, similar to what you would expect to see in your neighborhood floral shop, rather than a typical supermarket setting. Use the area around the base of the tables for additional potted items, as well as for a few holiday bouquets. By utilizing the new floral crates or black cubes with the nesting tables, you can take your merchandising to the next level. If done correctly and with the right items, this type of merchandising will wow your customers. With the two sets of nesting tables shown in this department, we are able to give you an example of both a fall and a Christmas presentation. Although it is not shown here, you may even utilize the tops of these tables for fresh upgrades just prior to each holiday.